Welcome, everybody, to Southern Entertainment Wrestling Compilations. My name is Braden Fury. I will be your host for this evening. I have found three great matches for tonight's episode. This first one takes us back to 1979 and the CWA, the Memphis Wrestling Territory. Let's go ahead and let's go to that match right now.
In the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee, this was a Southern Tag Team title match. Robert Fuller and Bill Dundee going against the Japanese team of Professor Tanaka and Mr. Fuji. Let's take a look at it as it took place. Fuller driving to the corner. Tanaka chops Dundee. From Robert to Billy. Bill covers one. Nope. Dundee right back on his feet, throws him down. Stomps, comes right back after him. Dundee. Shoulder butt. Dundee a mare into the center one, and Tanaka comes in. Dundee runs into Fuji. Reverse. Nice hip toss. Dundee kicked out by Fuji. Dundee kicking at him. Slams Dundee down. Dundee kicks his way out. Tag on Robert Fuller. Robert a knee lift. Tanaka attacks Fuller with a toe hold. Tanaka, one of the few guys that will go for a submission off a toe hold. He's Fuller's leg against the ring post. Dundee comes down to help his partner out. Fuller's leg bent around the bottom rope. Bill hops back in the ring, but the referee immediately runs him to the corner. Fuji working on a pressure point on Fuller's leg while the referee trying to get Dundee to get out of there. And at last, it's back to two in the ring and two on the outside. Fuller and Tanaka still in with Robert undergoing attack. That's Gorgeous George Jr. pounding the timer's table with his riding crop. Spears him with a shoulder. Fuller gets to the corner, tags Dundee, and here comes Billy. Cover! That's all one. the big 274 Tanaka into the center of the ring. Fuller, with his leg hurt, came flying across the ring to hit Fuji. Dundee behind. Fuji, while the referee's back was turned, running Robert Fuller out. 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be it. Fuji threw something at Dundee, and the AWA belts will go to the team of Tanaka and Mr. Fuji.
What a great classic tag team match that was, featuring Mr. Fuji, Professor Tanaka against Bill Dundee and Robert Fuller. This next match will be featuring a younger Ric Flair. Let's go ahead and head over to that match right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Decatur at 241 pounds, here's Ken Timms. Ken Timms. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, one of professional wrestling's great competitors. Here's the Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair. Ric Flair. Your referee is Nick Patrick. We'll be back with this match right after this brief timeout.
The bell. Ric Flair moving out against Ken Timms. Flair certainly the top contender. He is a double tough individual. Timms, brother of Ed Timms, vastly improved competitor, facing a tough test here in Ric Flair. Full arm drag and twist and takedown by Flair. Flair in the red trunks. Again, fantastically conditioned athlete. And it's Timms utilizing the ring ropes, forces the break. And Flair suddenly is... And Flair likes to carry on with the audience, carry on conversations with the audience, and he is the first one to admit to his own greatness when he's in that ring. And he will do it vocally. There's no question about that. Side headlock by Timms. Flair turns that into a top wrist lock. And it is Flair gaining the edge in leverage at that point. Down to an inside armbar. Up into the ring ropes once again. The referee calls for the break. Clean break by Flair. Backs away. Referee Nick Patrick. Once again, Timms unhooked with a hard right hand. Another one on the break, and Flair caught on that one. Now gets Timms back in the corner, and Flair retaliating. And it is Flair putting some devastation on Timms. Catches him. A side backdrop, and now brings him up once again. Full body slam. Ric Flair with an elbow across the chest. Flair overhooks the head, front face lock. Timms into the ring ropes, forces the break. Flair a little bit reluctant to break that time, as he now recognizes exactly what kind of a competitor he's facing. All right, Flair watching him carefully. They move in, collar and elbow once again. From side headlock to a total hammerlock. Let's see if he wings that arm. He does not, but he's got it locked in. There's no question about that. Timms back to the canvas. Flair again. Flair, of course, a gentleman who goes 110% no matter what he's involved in, be it a wrestling match, if he's out hunting, swimming, scuba diving, you name it. He takes on life with a great intensity. All right, back into the turnbuckle once again. Ken Timms rips across the face of Flair, and now jams Flair's head into that turnbuckle. Overhooks the head once again. In fact, he has a front chancery on him now. Timms pressing that advantage, and Flair could have some problems here. Now Flair trying to break free from it if he can. Separates the hold into a full arm dragon twist. And a chop across the chest that you could hear throughout the entire television sports arena. Again, Flair takes him off his feet. Now smashes him into that far turnbuckle. Timms in trouble now. Flair uses the elbow very effectively. A looping right hand, another hard right hand. Once again, the elbow. Timms hurtled through those ring ropes and out onto the concrete floor. Timms coming up rather slowly now, featuring the lower, favoring rather the lower area of his back. The forearm into the chest of Timms. Drops Timms to the apron once again. Timms coming up rather slowly. Flair uses that elbow effectively. Timms trying to get back into that ring, and Flair continues the attack. Flair brings him back in through the ring ropes. Forearm across the chest. Flair now arm whips him across, catches him with an elbow. And Flair again keeps that running commentary going against his opponent. Brings him way, way up. High vertical suplex, and Flair. There he goes into that... moves very effectively into that figure four, but it's applied to the opposite side than the way that the figure four is normally applied. Exceptionally effective, as we just saw. So Ric Flair, using the figure four, defeats Ken Timms in the opening match of this hour of Georgia Championship Wrestling. And
What a great match that was from Ric Flair and his opponent Ken Timms. That match was from the Georgia Championship Wrestling territory in 1981. Let's go ahead and go to our Southern Entertainment Wrestling Compilations and main event right now.
We'll explain the rules, which really are no rules at all. No stopping for anything, and there'll be a number of wrestlers around the ring to keep the combatants in the ring. Buddy Rose with his large cape with a Playboy type bunny on it, with his partner Ed Wiskowski. And we see Adrian Adonis, Ron Starr, Stan Stasiak. Here comes the opponent for this match, the Scotsman, down at ringside, Roddy Piper, and of course his partner Brooks is not here. Brooks is rumored to be returning to action very soon. But here's Dutch Savage. Let's listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening for the Pacific Coast Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the blue trunks from Las Vegas, Nevada, the challenger at 262 pounds, Playboy Buddy Rose. This is a special rules match for the championship. There will be guards stationed around the ring. When a man leaves, he'll be automatically thrown back in and continue wrestling. Mr. Rose and Mr. Piper have agreed to another special rule. It was Rose's idea. They both signed a contract. Mr. Elton Owens had it notarized. This will be one fall, Mr. Barr, to a finish. Now, introducing the champion from Scotland at 251 pounds, Roddy Piper. Your referee, sanctioned by the National Wrestling Association, Mr. Sandy Barr.
And he's going to have some help on this one. Stasiak, Matt Bourne. We mentioned Adonis and Starr. Mantell, Rick Hunter, all around the ring. And Wiskowski, of course, also having the opportunity. The showing of the Pacific Coast title to the challenger. So Wiskowski is down at ringside. That is Playboy Buddy Rose's partner, and as a wrestler, he is allowed down there because this is a special rules lumberjack match. That's the most common name for it. Man tries to get out of the ring. He will be thrown back in. There's no running. And one fall will decide it all. Now, because of the coming back of Mantell and Stasiak, we've gotten behind on commercial breaks. So at the end of this match, we will have a couple of breaks. Alert the people back at the station. Roddy Piper. Wiskowski saying to referee Sandy Barr was illegal. He hit him with the fist. Two of the roughest young men in professional wrestling today going at it, and for one of the big titles in the country today, and that is the Pacific Coast Heavyweight Championship. Piper is defending it. Wiskowski grabs a rope, puts one foot on the apron. The crowd starts yelling, and he puts it down. This is one fall to a finish to stay with us at the end. We'll be throwing it back to the studio, but we'll be returning. And these two have been in two classic confrontations so far. Back on, I believe it was the 8th, the first Tuesday of the month. Then again last Saturday. And this one just might be the granddaddy of all of them. Brooks not on hand. Piper, if you want to call it that, call it a disadvantage, because Rose has his partner, Wiskowski, at ringside. All the other wrestlers are at ringside. Watching the match first of all. With a wing lock, Roddy Piper taking him into a corner is Rose. And Wiskowski trips. Wiskowski reached in, grabbed the foot of Piper. He fell forward, and Rose after him. The whip hard into the corner goes Piper. I'll tell you, that one hurts up here. Now out to the middle of the ring, the challenger, trying to get that Pacific Coast Championship. Headlock from behind, Playboy Buddy Rose. He's got him down on the mat with it. Making his way to a sitting position, Roddy Piper. And who thought a few weeks ago that you would hear a capacity crowd, thousands of people at the Portland Sports Arena cheering for Roddy Piper. Piper back, elbow to the midsection of Rose, backs up the Playboy. The blonde Playboy out of Las Vegas, Nevada. In against Roddy Piper. And again, an attempted trip by Wiskowski, and he got the foot pulled out. Now Stan Stasiak is circling around. He is going to stand by Wiskowski. Mantell was by him. Stasiak says somebody else needs you, and circling around the other side are Starr and Adonis. And now Stasiak has taken up a position in that corner. And I don't think Wiskowski's going to want to move him. He is down on the mat in that corner. He is going to try to keep things equal here. Wiskowski's gotten in a couple of trips. Tripped his man twice. His partner's opponent, he's supposed to be neutral in this case, quite naturally. All the wrestlers around the ring, and that's to keep either one of these men in. If they try to run, they'll be grabbed and thrown back in. Stasiak is down in Rose's corner so that Wiskowski cannot be there. Stasiak sees that there is no one at all across the way, so he moves the other direction to even it out. They're trying to have a couple men on each side. Takedown, and Rose comes back. He was put to the mat, but taken back down. Turnbuckle treatment for Piper. Now he is taken across the ring all the way. Slammed into that top turnbuckle in the neutral corner. And again, Stasiak circling as Wiskowski went into that corner. Piper outside. And it's Wiskowski grabbing him by the hair and putting him back in. And Wiskowski again pushing him back in. And Starr comes up now and says, just push him back in. Let's not be grabbing him by the hair and throwing him back in. Piper now getting much the worst of it, as we've had the first situation of a man outside the ring. A count of 2 and almost 3 by Rose on Piper. Piper now looked out and took a wild swing at Wiskowski. Wiskowski grabbing Piper by the hair, throwing him back into the ring. Set up for a backbreaker. It's a sit-out backbreaker. Body press by the challenger Rose. Gets a count of 2. Piper flail kicks off again. And Wiskowski yelling at the referee says, give him a 1, 2, 3. Sandy Barr says he got 2 seconds. That's all he had. Piper comes back with a big swing. He's hurt, trying to shake it off. Comes off the ropes with a wicked right cross. Thrown halfway across the ring. I'll tell you, just the 3rd episode, call it the 4th if you want to count the beginning tag team match when this feud started. Well, I would say the 4th page in an epic grudge struggle between Piper and Rose. So much so that the crowd has began cheering for Roddy Piper, if you'd ever believe it. Coming over the top, going for the pin. Rose might. No. Looked like he might have it. He counted. Got a count of 2. So far, I would say Rose has the upper hand in punishment that has been dealt out. But Piper is a man who can take, well, both of these fellas are, or they wouldn't be the highly ranked pro wrestlers that they are. Rose falling out, and there's Starr, Matt Bourne. Rose wants to get out the other way, and there is Adonis, and Starr throwing him back in. That time he's trying to run. He is trying to get out of there. Matt Bourne, Stan Stasiak, Ron Starr, He gets out on the side where Mantell and Wiskowski are. They're trying to buy him some time. But quickly we get Stasiak, Starr, and Bourne moving in. It's a wild-eyed Scotsman. Flying mare. Flying foot stomp. Watch out for the Scotsman. Woo! He unloaded that time, and Rose wants to get out, and you see what happens. Starr, Stasiak, and Adrian Adonis. And he says, you want out? We'll put you out over the top rope. Mantell, Stasiak, Bourne, Starr, Wiskowski are all there, getting him back in the ring. Buddy Rose trying to get out. Now gets a foot on the ropes. Rose slips his feet out on the apron. Starr pushes him back. Quick left jab. Lightning left. And a combination thrown by Piper. Covers the challenger with a body press. Gets a count of about 2 9/10 seconds. That was awfully close to putting it away. Drop kick miss. Buddy Rose showing the experience that he has gained in a hurry. Grabbing the ropes. Stopping short. Piper missed the drop kick and went to the mat. Hard, I might add. They're in the corner, coming out of it. And it's Rose headlong into the corner. He had a headlock. He was going to try to take Piper into that corner. Piper stopped short. Now Piper comes back with a kick out of the corner. Now, has him up on his shoulders. Is he going to go for the airplane spin? An old-timer, he is. He's shooting the airplane spin. Very seldom seen. But Rowdy Piper going for it. Now dumped to the mat. And he could be putting him away, but he's too dizzy to follow him up. He is not used to that hold himself. Falling over the inert body of Rose at the count of 2. He throws him off it.
5 minutes.
Thrown outside the ring. Now Piper hauled outside by Rose. Both battlers outside the ring. Going around, the wrestlers coming around. They're saying, what do we... They don't want to step in and break it up. They're trying to get both men back into the ring. Piper is back in. Rose, watch out, Wiskowski is in the ring. Wiskowski is in the ring. Sandy Barr's back is turned. Wiskowski is in the ring, laying it on Piper, while Rose is fighting the wrestlers. And out of the crowd, here comes Brooks. Killer, bad news, Brooks, with his dog chain. This place is going wild. Wild-eyed Brooks with his chain and collar is in there. Rose is thrown back in. Woo! The winner in a match that ends in a melee. And still champion. Rowdy Piper. Brooks throws the referee out of the way. Throws Wiskowski out of the ring and then tosses Rose out. Bad news. Brooks with good news to Rowdy Piper. A capacity crowd raising the roof at the Portland Sports Arena. Brooks apparently arriving late.
What an amazing match that was to end tonight's episode of Southern Entertainment Wrestling Compilations. That was Rowdy Roddy Piper defending his Portland Wrestling Heavyweight Championship against Playboy Buddy Rose in a lumberjack match from the Portland Wrestling territory. Those two men battled it out for close to 20 minutes. That was one hell of a match. I hope everyone who watches this enjoys those matches as much as I did. Look forward to more compilations coming out and coming your way. If you like this content, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Braden Fury. I have been your host for this evening, and thank you very much for watching and supporting Southern Entertainment Wrestling Compilations. Have a good night.